What in the hell is going on across our planet? Today I'm starting a multiple part series where I'm going to share channeled guidance and information with you to help you understand what's going on, what can you do during this time, what to expect going forward, and how to create the world that you really want to live in, because it's possible to do that. We can do that individually and as a collective. So this is the first part of a multiple part series. I'm going to start high level today. And I'm going to touch on some of the topics that I go into much detail about on my channel and other videos, but for the sake of time, let's get started. So what the hell is going on? So to help you guys understand, we're going to touch high level here. This planet is being ran like a global pyramid, okay? There is low-level management, mid-level management, high-level management, just like any corporation or business, okay? At the top, the people who are running all of this, and they delegate to their minions down here, okay, the high, mid, low, level. These are what I call the global CEOs, or the powers that were, because they are scrambling right now and losing power. These are what we would call the families or the bloodlines. They've been around for thousands and thousands of years. They just pass the baton down over time through their families. Their families have changed names over time, and they just pass the baton over, from parent to child, all the way down through centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries. Okay, so over time, things have changed the way things have looked as far as how they control us, but they always use the same tactics: fear and division. Fear and division is what makes us easy to control. But the systems that they have set up, that my guides call the 4 pillars of control that we are operating under right now, that they have created, are political structures, banking and finance, Western medicine, and education, okay? Those are the 4 pillars that were created to hijack our energy, our money, our time, etc. And that is how they continue to hijack us and control the masses with a couple of hundred, maybe even less people, okay? So we've got billions of people on the planet that are being controlled by a small percentile through those systems. And the systems that they've created and have leveraged and are using to cause us to believe those systems must be used and those systems are real, and that causes us to believe that we must continue to participate, okay? What they've done here, so these are the 4 pillars. The glue that holds it together is religion. And I'm not talking about God or spirit or the universe or whatever you want to call your higher power. That's real. I'm talking about the man-made construct of religion. I'm not going to get into the details of that. I do that on a lot of other videos. But religion, the media, the law system, so police enforcement, judicial law, and Hollywood. My guides said and have shown me that Hollywood was created when religion started failing. When people started waking up to religion, I grew up Christian, and it never really sat right with me. And then when I woke up and started channeling out of the blue 4 years ago, go visit my website for the story, I was shown why it never sat right with me. I came with kind of a protection to be fully sucked in, but I came to experience this so that I was able to now share with you the insight from the perspective of how this all works. So religion has been manipulated over time, and what they have done, just really briefly, is they have taken parables, they've taken real events, and they've taken real things from our history, and they have stirred it all up, thrown out a bunch of stuff, and then kind of taken the pieces that they want. And over time, whatever regime is in control, like during the Roman regime, they get to choose what you believe is true through putting it through the Bible. If whatever regime is in control 5,000 years ago, they dictate what you are meant to believe. So this is a very, very a big part of how we're hijacked. But today we're talking about, just briefly, the political structure. So the political structure, and I'm speaking about the United States specifically, but this goes for every country, because remember, they control all of it. No matter what country you're in, no matter what the political structure looks like in your country, they're over all of it, okay? It's not real. They've created these systems and made you believe they're real through the light blue lines, right? Like I just explained. So in the USA, what we have is we have the red or blue side. We have Republican and Democrat. I just started figuring this out because I've never been political ever, which is another part of why, connects to why I'm here. But I've never understood it. The news was on in my house all day long when I grew up. I never understood it. I always knew it wasn't real, but I couldn't really put my finger on that feeling or what it was, but it's the media is created from these people own the media. They own everything. They own all the corporations. They own everything on the planet. But they create the media, and they give the media the stories to present, to make us, to manipulate our minds and manipulate our belief systems, to keep us pitted against each other. Okay, same with religion. But for the political system, we are given the illusion of choice. Why do we only have two options, by the way? We have red or blue. And either side that wins, the other side feels like they're massively lost. There's riots, there's destruction, they feel like they're losing. People lose rights. People are losing their rights no matter who is in charge, okay? So we're given the illusion of choice. We don't have a choice. The red and blue sides are wings of the same bird, meaning it doesn't matter what side you're on. You might believe if you're on one side, there's more or less gun rights. If you're on the other side, there's more or less reproductive rights. It's, in the end, it's all about taking our human rights, okay? It just looks different, but these people, no matter who's in charge, they report up to low-level management here that report all the way up to the powers that were, these global CEOs. No matter who's in charge, they are getting their orders from this global pyramid. It doesn't matter who's in charge. It doesn't matter who's voted in this term. From the perspective of what's really going to help humanity. Now, in one of the next pieces, I'm going to actually cover for you with what's going on. We have two main runners right now in the political race, and I am going to go into lower level details about who might be better, but it's not from the perspective of what you think. Okay, so all of this is channeled, by the way. My day job is channeling soul contracts and your life blueprint, the reason why you're here, what your soul wanted to do while it was here, and how to align your highest timeline. The soul contracts with your family, your partners, your children, your friends, what you're meant to be doing in this lifetime, how to start creating more abundance, how to leave your corporate job, the reasons behind your trauma even. It's absolutely beautiful. It's always so beautiful when I can channel for someone these things. Go visit my website. There's testimonies there. And you can also, my clients also drop comments sometimes in my videos. But, so we're given the illusion of choice, okay? We're not choosing who's voting in. Candidates are chosen, and we're told, here's the people you get to choose from. That we, the people, we don't have anything to do with any of them, right? And anybody who may be able to do some good doesn't ever end up in the front running, or something happens to them, they get sick, or look over our history of some of our most loved people, politicians, and they're exited off the planet. Okay, so the whole system is controlled by this, right? The entire thing needs to collapse. It's been broken, and that's what's happening right now. It's been broken for a long time. So I'll get into this in later videos on this series, but what's happening right now is it's all starting to crumble and collapse. This system cannot be fixed. No one running right now has our best interests in mind 100%, period. It all needs to collapse. We'll get into this in later videos, but what my guides have shown me, where we're moving to, everything that's happening now, again, I'm gonna cover more of this in later videos, but it's a precursor for something much bigger. What many of us have come to do is help birth the new world, okay? So the new world, or split timeline. There's split timeline. There's a low-level timeline that's going to continue down the path of destruction and mayhem and all of this stuff that needs to go. If you're wishing harm on your neighbor because their skin color, their sexual orientation, or because they voted blue, or they voted red, or they have a different belief system in religion, Jesus, you don't believe in Jesus, you're going to hell. If there's any hate or anger, that is a lower level timeline thought process. Okay, the higher timeline, which is where I'm moving to, so join me. But the other option is a timeline of love. Okay, freedom, unity, community, people-focused systems and solutions, not the ones that are forced down our throat. Natural health support. Instead of food for medicine, or instead of medicine for food, we can learn how to use food for medicine and plants to heal us, and crystals, and that might sound woo, but there are many books that go do your own research on this. Okay, don't take my word for any of this. Go do your own research, because a lot of this is backed up. I'm channeling all this, but a lot of this is backed up with research and books that people have written over hundreds of years. But we used to live in more harmony with the planet, and all of records of that was wiped from the system when a certain bloodline realized they could make money through petroleum and start making medications. These things don't heal, they only mask the symptoms, right? So we're moving towards a world where we have natural health support, and we're more intuitive, and we make decisions from our heart space versus what the media tells us to do and politicians tell us to do, because it's never going to be in our best interest. And a peace, love, and harmony world, okay? So this is from a high level perspective. I just want to give you a brief overview. In the next videos, I'm going to cover more about, and we're going to keep going down, and peel back the layers about what's really going on. And from a political standpoint, the reason why I'm covering this is my guides asked me to, but I've been offline for several weeks, and I've been getting emails and messages and texts from clients and friends and family very, very worried about the situation in our country and in the world. And I've been sharing with them what I've been channeling, and they've said this has completely changed and calmed their nervous system down. And so my guide said this is time to share this with everyone else. So I'm going to be sharing all this with you. So stick around, drop your questions and comments. Would love to hear from you, and I'll see you in the next video.